Hi everyone, Amy here. Happy Halloween. Welcome back to your weekly update for Saturday, October 31st, 2020. So the weather has definitely changed. There's a chill in the air and plenty of rain. So what we had to start doing is putting those plants away. So yes, a lot of those plants you saw here in the fall as you were shopping for pumpkins and corn stalks, they are still here. They are really tight into our greenhouses in the back. To begin the process, we start with the tractor and actually lifts up the really heavy plastic roll for us. So a very large team of us just pulls and pulls and pulls this plastic over the very tall greenhouse. This year I was able to take the first ever time-lapse video of us covering one of these greenhouses. The first video you will see is of the first clear plastic layer, and the second video is of the white layer. And here is a picture of all the plants shoved together in that greenhouse we just covered. Then after all that's done, a couple of the guys go down each side and attach a wire lock to secure it in place. So that day we were able to complete 2 before the weather changed on us again, which means we have 8 more to go. Now in my email newsletter yesterday on Friday, I discussed fall care of hydrangeas, especially pruning. And basically what it came down to is don't prune. You'd want to prune hydrangeas in the spring, some you don't prune at all. Now, can you trim off those dead flowers to have a tidier plant over the winter? Absolutely. Can you leave those flowers for nice winter interest? You can do that too. So for instance, your hydrangea arborescens like Annabelle or Incredible, again, you prune those in spring back to about 2 foot to create a nice framework of branches. Your panicle hydrangeas, such as Limelight, Quickfire, Bobo, you trim those again in the spring once the buds have started to swell up. There are 2 types of hydrangeas that usually don't need pruned at all. That's Hydrangea serrata, that's like Tutu series, Twirlygig series, and Hydrangea quercifolia, which is the oak leaf type, Peewee, Snowflake, Munchkin is a new one. Those really don't need pruned. I have an oak leaf at home, I've never touched it. The flowers just kind of fade away and it does really well. But not least, the most complicated type is Hydrangea macrophylla. That's your endless summer, bloomstruck, older varieties like Pink Beauty or Nico Blue, which don't seem to bloom anymore because they only set buds on last year's growth. And it seems like they get zapped by frost and freeze. But with those, I would suggest trimming in the spring, but be very careful. I would suggest doing your best to find wood that's 2 years old. This wood is almost lighter in color, sometimes hollow, sometimes so old you can just pull it out. So leave any of those stems that look like they're viable with buds, and any of those stems that have hollowed out, dried out, or even grayed in color, those can be trimmed off. Now, even though I suggest spring pruning on all these plants, here at the nursery we prune those in the fall, and we just completed that actually. Now we do this for one reason and one reason only, and that is time. I'm sure as you know, we are busy little bees in the spring and do not have time for this garden maintenance at that time. As far as fertilizing, if you have any hollytone at home, go ahead and put that on now. That will help really get the plant going in the spring. But other than that, hydrangeas don't need much care in fall and into winter. Just want to give you a little heads up. I am working on a video of how to dig and store those tender summer bulbs like Canna, Calla, Dahlia. Yes, you can dig them up, store them, and replant them next year for next season's blooms. I'm working on that now. It's taking a little longer than I expected. I have a new video editing software with a learning curve. Even though I have an extensive list of videos I need to create, if there's something you specifically would like to see, please let us know via email or in the comments below. Okay, so let's head back to the greenhouse and check on those poinsettias and see if they're starting to color up. Okay, I made it. Everything's looking a lot better down here than I thought. Look how colorful everything is. Let's take a closer look. Here is the winter rose type, kind of a ruffled look to it. Very popular. Let us know in the comments below if this is one of your favorites. Let's see if we can find those newer ones I talked about a couple weeks ago. Oh, yep, there's the variegated form. Looking even better now. Oh, and to the next, over here to the left, is that Christmas mouse with the more rounded look to it. And speaking of poinsettias, that means the holiday season is near. We are already starting to gear up. I believe next week we're going to start cutting branches for our handmade cemetery decorations. I did want to give you a little warning. If you're interested in one of our handmade cemetery decorations or a wreath or a Christmas tree, poinsettias, any of that, I have a feeling based on spring sales there will be a high demand for holiday plants. If you're interested in any of these, please get your order in as quick as possible. Okay, so that's it for this week. Don't eat too much Halloween candy. See you soon. Bye-bye.